welcome back to Sars Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Because everybody is tuned in nice and early, because everybody is watching on the replay. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As you can see, I'm here. Well, I was here by myself, but Soul's just decided to turn up now.
Yeah, but Sad, you've started the stream and it's just you here, bro. So what's going on?
Yeah, big up to him. The other people are running late, of course, because, do you know what I mean? Listen, I am here all the time. On time, people, yeah? Just remember that. I am here on time, people, yeah? It's not me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to say. But, listen, man, today is going to be it's going to be a discussion about transfers. We're going to be speaking about everything Arsenal, Chelsea's transfer window. We're going to be speaking about Liverpool's non-existent window. We're going to be speaking about the top six and how they've done on transfers this window so far. Of course, the window's not shut yet, and there's still a lot of work to be done from teams like Arsenal, like Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Man City, if they're going to go back out for anybody else, so that they could very well do something as well. But listen, we are here to discuss, man. We are here to talk about it. Big up, Souls. What are you saying?
Good, my bro. What are you saying?
Alhamdulillah, broski. Alhamdulillah. Listen,
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, obviously you're not looking like someone that's going out later. But anyway, what I wanted to say is, yeah, big up to the channel. Big up to Sad for inviting me again. Sad, I love you. Allah.
You fucking pussy.
No, listen, I'm upset though because Arsenal are still moving timid. I saw a post today of someone saying Arsenal are unwilling to overpay in an inflated market. So basically, they're not willing to stay up to date with the current price of players. Is that what they're saying? They're just going to
Not
keep lowballing
necessarily.
everyone.
Not necessarily. They're you know, there's certain things. I think with these two deals, I mean, we might as well just get straight into it because Sami ain't here. Neither is Ash. For me, I just look at it like this. For Rodgers, already we got confirmed. It got confirmed to us that they were quoted a price, and then Aston Villa decided, yo, bun that price that we quoted you. We're gonna go to this price. Do you know what I mean? Now, that's a bit of a piss take. That is a bit of a piss take from Aston Villa, in my opinion. To be honest, I look at that and I'm like, for a team to quote you a price, then when it comes to you going to pay that price, or when it comes to you discussing within those parameters that they've quoted you, they now say, actually, forget about that price. We're now quoting you for this price, which by the way is a whole 20 million more, by the way, or almost 20 million, like 17 more, if we go by the highest price that they said, the highest price point, which was 100 mil. So the Rodgers one, listen, I think it's smart not to overpay, not to go mad, because we're not sitting here and dealing with, the players that we're gonna bring in. We're not sitting here and trying to bring in, people to raise the floor. We're bringing here people to raise ceilings, bro. Do you know what I mean? Of the squad. Like, I don't think people understand fully that once you're a team that's won the league, like, do you know what I mean? You have a lot of good players, so it's hard to improve on those players. Now, right now, the left wing is what needs serious work, and we know that Martinelli's for sale, all of this stuff. But Bruno G, listen, there was an agreement there. Now people will say, oh, but it was reported that there was an agreement, and that was, bro. This is what these journalists like Luke Edwards and these men are saying. Yeah, I don't believe a word that comes out of that bald fuck's mouth. Yeah, that guy's a prick. That's the reality of the situation. And he's heartless, and he's a terrible human being, Mr. Luke Edwards. Yeah, he's a terrible human being. But regardless, yeah, listen, I'll be real. I think we need to make sure it's going towards the price point that I thought it would be, because I the way it was looking, I thought, oh my god, you know what? Arsenal might actually do this. They might actually go and end up just spending 80 million, 85 million. Like, there's no need. If you can save money where you can and then put that towards other transfers, then that's what you need to do. It's not we're not only buying one position and that's it. So we can go and spend 150, 200, 250 million on that one position. We're not doing that. We're buying a certain amount of players. We've got 300 million, it is whatever they said, plus whatever we make in the window. So do you know what I mean? We've still got we're still saving money for that Alvarez, which by the way, this Alvarez deal is picking up storm. So we're gonna have to discuss that because that is picking up storm. The fact that people keep on mentioning this Gyökeres swap deal thing, listen, man,
It is
that's
picking
mad.
up storm. It's picking up storm because people are mentioning it. What credible sources do you have?
What do you mean?
Like we're not gonna get Alvarez.
Uh, I'm just saying the journalists are all saying he's preferred. He's a player. Don't rule this one out. Watch this transfer. Like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I think this could happen. I think that Barcelona could end up saying, "Yo, we're done. We're not paying it." He gets pissed off with them and he says, "Yo, I'm leaving. Yeah, so you have to find me a club now." And then we come in, bang, swoop deal, sort it out with Atletico Madrid, and it's done, bro. And a lot of people have come out and said he's not against coming to the Premier League. He's not completely against it. He's always said, "I wouldn't mind a return to the Premier League. I want to come to the Premier League as well." If the Barcelona deal doesn't work, but that's his dream to go to Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So listen, man, I don't think it's an unrealistic transfer. I think it can very well be done. Um, you know, it's not like the Vinny Junior one, which is there's a lot of moving parts. Do you know what I mean? There's a massive wage, this and that. Um, oh, damn, Sammy's on a mad one. He's just no, big up Sammy. Um, yeah, man. Listen, bro, I'll be real with you, man. I understand people want to look at it and say, "Ah, he's not coming. He's not coming. He's not coming." But that's just very naive to say something like that because it can easily happen. It can easily happen. But obviously, you have different thoughts on it.
Yeah, no. Hopefully we do get Alvarez.
But why do you think he's not gonna come? Is it because no one reliable? You said because I've got reliable journalists that said it.
I don't think we'll pay the money. I don't think he wants to come to Arsenal. I don't think he even wants to come to the Premier League. I think he wants to go to Barca, and I think the only way we can potentially get Alvarez if Barca don't get is if he turns down Barca. Then even then, there is a chance he could stay at Atletico as well.
He's not going to because apparently the relationship's starting to get really bad, especially between him and Simeone. That's well documented from like Spanish reporters as well saying,
Simeone.
yeah,
Well, to be honest, if that's the case, then yeah, most probably he will leave then. But look, I hope we do get him, man. We need someone, bro. We need something. We need something, and we need it now.
listen, I think I just think the window is very long. We still have a whole month left of the window. Um, yes, it's kind of against the rule that I like to play by, which I like to get players in before preseason. I like to get them ready, like to get them working. Do you know what I mean? Get all the deals done before preseason, but sometimes it doesn't work like that, especially when you're trying to work on big deals. And listen, I'm not gonna sit here and be reactionary. I'm not gonna sit here and cuss out the club. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my god, what we doing? This and that," because that is for the last week of the transfer window. If the last week of the transfer window we ain't signed nobody, and then the only person I've seen come through the door is Christos Tzolis, then I'm screwing and I'm flipping tables and going mad. But until then, bro, like it's not something for me that I'm gonna sit here and react on and be like, oh my god, because the same way, like a lot of these teams, Spurs, Man United, Chelsea, they have a lot of work to do on their squads. A lot of work, bro. These like to get to a level where they can even try and challenge for the league. Forget about like winning one, just challenge for the league, bro. Do you know what I mean? So listen, I think it's gonna be a big big window for us. I think that Arsenal are gonna be once we get this Bruno G deal out the way, which I do think it will happen. I think it might happen just over. Um, I think it might happen just over the 70 mil. They're obviously going to do the 70 mil whatever bid. I think it might be 73, 75, something like that. Is where is the price point that will probably be accepted. Newcastle are just playing hard to get. Do you know what I mean? These men are just doing what they do every single time, and it's getting boring. It's dry, bro. You dragged it out. They've dragged it out for so long. They keep on doing this. They keep on acting like they're big, bro. With all due respect, Newcastle United, bro. When it comes to big clubs like us, you're food. It's not. Let's not act like you're Real Madrid and you can hold on to these stars and they will stay no matter what, bro. Like you're food, bro. Just understand the assignment, move on, roll over, let us rub your belly. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. So
Why for that?
yeah, why for that? But you know what I mean. Big up to Ash. He finally fixed his camera. By the way, let me change this overlay. Let me change this overlay. Big up Ash. Ash, we were
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
That's all right. We were speaking about the transfers. Obviously, I'm in the camp of I'm not overly worried at the moment, just because there's still a lot of time in the window to go. I'll just go over what I said. Obviously, I'm saying it again for the people in the comments and the viewers that are watching. But for me personally, I look at the window at the moment. There's still 1 month left. If we get to 1 week and we still haven't signed anyone apart from Christos Tzolis, then it's peak, and I'm starting to get concerned and I'm starting to go crazy and get mad. But until then, I'm not going to. And listen, I think for people like Souls who are saying we're moving a bit timid and not and you know, not grabbing the ball by the horns and really taking the window for what it is, you know, spending the money, go out and splash money. Listen, I think it's smart because we've not got one position that we're trying to fill. We've got multiple that we're trying to fill. We're not just going for one position. If we were going for one position, then I'd be like, bro, what's the harm, bro? Throw your kitchen sink at whoever you're trying to go at. Spend whatever it takes to get them. By the way, big up to Aaron, big up to Ali, because I didn't even
Big up Aaron, big up Ali.
But yeah, man, listen, I think for me, what are your thoughts on the window so far? Because let's just start off there, and then we'll speak about separate transfers, because I've kind of gone in rambling about while Souls just sat there. And I've just been rambling basically. Oh my god! By the way, we just got a David Ornstein bomber.
Please tell me it's for Arsenal.
No. Real Madrid working on a deal to sign Rodri from Manchester City. Clubs not in talks yet, but Real Madrid now operating on basis of midfielder joining this summer. Man City still hopes Spain captain stays without new contract. Wow.
Damn.
So that completely changes like Man City going into next season.
It does, but then you just know Man City are gonna like just spend like 150 million on like the best CDM after Rodri.
Nah, they cannot. There's no CDM out there in the world that can replace Rodri, especially if Rodri's back to his best. If they lose Rodri, they are in big trouble. Replacing Bernardo Silva is one thing because he was kind of washed, dead legs, couldn't play anymore. Elliot Anderson probably could be an upgrade actually in the long run. Replacing Rodri is impossible in today's market. Like at least in the immediate next season. Maybe in the next 3-4 years, 100% you can replace Rodri. But in the next one season, There's no midfielder out there that can do that. There is no midfielder.
The closest person that can try and
Don't say
replicate that.
Boadi.
No, the closest person that can try and replicate that is sitting in Arsenal right now, and that is Martin Zubimendi. And even then, he still needs.
And even he's not that level.
Even then, he needs time to get to that. Try to get to that level, because he done it for Spain in that final, but can he do it consistently in the level as Rodri? But listen, we're gonna get to that. Chat to me about the window, because I think there's a lot of people now. There's a lot of people are angry. People are grabbing pitchforks and all sorts.
Look, I'm not at that extreme yet where panicking and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be problematic. But I am getting slightly more concerned or worried now. Mainly because we are not heavily linked or strongly linked with a position that we need. Yes, we're linked with Bruno, and that's very close, but that's not something we need. That'll help us for sure. That's an elevation. But it's not something we desperately need. Like, if we don't sign Bruno, we're dead for next season. Because we have 4 midfielders who can play those 2 roles, and they can do it at a very decent level. One of them is world-class in Declan Rice. And we have Zubimendi who can fill in for Declan Rice. You have Moreno, you have Skelly, who was a nice find from last season. And there are other midfielders we can get that can do the Bruno role. Obviously not as good as him, but probably for like a cheaper price and maybe either younger or maybe not as good as Bruno, but still at a decent level. Like, look at Tielemans. Tielemans just went for 35 million to Man United. He would have helped us tremendously in that centre mid role. So while I do want us to get Bruno, while I do think it'll help us for sure, even though I still stand by what I said before, if we get Bruno, I do think Skelly leaves in a year. But for me, that's not the main priority. The main priority is left wing and striker. Like, those are the 2 positions I think we need to focus on the most. And right now, we're not heavily linked with anyone on the left wing for the left wing position, where we're close to making a decent signing. And the same thing with the striker. We're not heavily linked with any striker that could come in and change the way we play up top or elevate us to a higher level. That is what concerns me more. The fact that there's no proper hot links in those 2 positions, as opposed to, we haven't signed anyone yet. Obviously, we've signed Tzolis, but you guys know how I feel about him. That's what I can kind of hear the Arsenal fans that are panicking. But I'm not at that stage yet where I am panicking, because there's still like a month or maybe a little less than a month left to the season starting. Anything can happen within the next 2 weeks. And if we sign someone within the next 2 weeks and they're ready to start the season, or at least play the second game of the season, I think we should be okay, in my opinion. But yeah, let's see. As things stand right now today, we are favorites just by default. Not because we have done something crazy. And City can easily change that. If they keep Rodri and they get another player, especially defense, I think they immediately change that. I think City immediately become favorites for me. Because the only other question mark with City will be the manager. That's it. Can he adapt? Can he gel well with the players? Can he handle the pressure? If he checks all these boxes, City for me become favorites over us. Even if we do nothing, even if they do nothing else.
That's why in the group chat you guys were saying that City are favorites right now as it stands, which I don't agree with. Even with Rodri, there's still,
if the manager gels,
there is still the injury concern with him at the moment. He's got a back injury. How long is he going to be out with that? Apparently he needs surgery or something like that. It's crazy.
But you can't say that and ignore the fact that Declan Rice is more in the red zone than Rodri. Saka is more in the red zone than Rodri. Saliba is deep in the red zone. He's already out for like 3-4 months. So
correct.
But we can't use it.
And correct action. I don't know what this guy's saying. Sad. We won the league last season. Our attack's not great, bro. Our attack's been pony. Our attack was pony last year. We were scraping through games against Burnley towards the end of the season. We haven't got an attack. We've lost our best centre back now for at least 3 months. Rice needs a rest. Saka needs a rest. We've still got Madueke, who's probably going to start a bunch of games. We've got no left winger. Instead of asking stupid questions like I don't agree with City are favourites, why do you think we're favourites?
Because we're going to buy players, bro. Nothing suggests that we're not going to buy players.
So we're favourites because of what you think is going to happen in the future.
Yes, because nothing has suggested that we aren't going to buy players. We've made intentions to go and buy players in the wings. at striker. We've made the intention to buy a midfielder who we're currently actively chasing. You lot acting like, okay, there's nobody on the. We haven't even heard a whiff of anything. That's how you're acting. We know that they're going in for a centre back to cover Saliba. Now, be it John Stones on a free, I don't really know how I feel about that. I think he's a bit too injury prone. I don't even know if this guy's going to be available. But regardless, Ezri Konza, who I don't really rate like that, but they're trying to go in for him. They're looking at centre backs that come in and play in on behalf of Saliba. We know for a fact that it's not that deep. Mosquera was
did you
out
say
there.
Konza?
Yes.
Konza's not gonna happen. Why are we even talking about that move?
Because it still keeps on coming up. They're still
Yeah,
saying
so is Julian
they're in for
Alvarez,
him,
and we know
they're
that
in
probably
for
will not
him.
happen either. Bro, there's a lot of players we could be in for. You know how Berta operates. You yourself said it last time. Like
No,
he-
but the Alvarez one, I just said to Souls, I feel like there is a likelihood that could happen. All it takes is for
I think
Barca,
there's less than a 10% chance to happen.
all it
but
takes
anyways.
is for
I
Barcelona.
agree, Ash.
All it takes is for Barcelona to come out of the running to say, "Yo, we're done," because
And then what happens?
if Atletico Madrid stand tough on what they said and say they will not sell him,
Yeah.
then he's gonna be
Then what
destroyed.
happens?
Then he's gonna
would
want to
stay at
leave, bro. He's already.
Why? He could stay at Atletico Madrid one more year.
Hold on. The journalists have already said it. The Spanish journalists have already said if he does not get his move, because the thing is, there was an agreement before the season ended that they were gonna discuss with Barcelona and let him go. Because Barcelona, he wanted to go to Barcelona, was discussing.
I understand that, Saad, but there is no report out there that says he is leaving this summer no matter what happens. He's already made up his mind, and there's no chance he stays. Because the reality is, I think he wants Barcelona. That's very clear. Not I think he's made it clear.
Of course.
As well.
No, but Ash, what you do, I did.
But wait, one sec, Souls.
One sec,
Souls. If let's say he doesn't get the Barca move, if his only two options are leaving Atletico and joining Arsenal, or staying one more year at Atletico and trying for Barcelona again next summer, I think he would choose the latter, because the coach of Atletico Madrid is Argentinian. He has 2 or 3 Argentinian teammates with him in the team. It's a country where he's more comfortable because it's Spanish speaking, and he's made it clear before. His brother made it clear before. His family are more comfortable there. There's way more check marks there versus coming to Arsenal, where now he knows his dream of Barca is gone forever, because Arsenal will not let him go for the next 3 years minimum if he joins us. So I think if he has a choice between joining Arsenal or staying at Atletico, I think he'll say, I'll just stay at Atletico then. At least one more year. And then maybe next summer I can try for Barcelona again.
I disagree.
That's exactly what I said.
One
Ash,
thing,
honestly.
one thing I think is Arteta is very good at convincing players. That's one thing that I give him a hats off to. He's very good at convincing players to
Based
join.
on what?
He's very good at.
Who's he convinced?
He's very good at.
Yeah, who's he convinced?
Brother, he convinced
Declan
Martin
Rice?
Zubimendi to sit here and
come
decline everybody, bro.
on.
He's
Okay.
He
You're right.
He spoke to Declan Rice.
What about Vinny Jr.?
What
What about Vinny Jr.? Why didn't he convince him? He wants
No, but
because apparently Arteta really wanted Vinny Jr. Why didn't he convince him?
No, but Ash, Arteta can't convince Vinny Jr., bro. Come on.
Bro,
That's not a good
Vinicius
example.
So what?
Jr. right
Well,
now-
no, but that's
Vinicius Jr.
wait,
right
but that's
now-
my point. That's my point. Alvarez, okay, obviously he's not as good as Vinny Jr., but he's sought after as much in that realm because he's like quoted 150 million. Barca are willing to pay 120 to get him.
He is,
Madrid offered 150. Madrid offered 150 already, and they
He's
got
one of
shut
the best
down.
players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
Best strikers for sure. So my point is, yes, Arteta can convince players. I agree, but as long as it's within a budget. So Bruno
But that's
Guimaraes,
not-
yes.
But that's not. But hold on. But Ash, you didn't even let me finish. That's the
Okay,
point.
sorry,
You just
go on.
you heard one point and you jumped on me. Pause.
Go on.
Why for that? Now, firstly, I think that Arteta is very good at convincing players. Secondly, numerous journalists have come out and said, including Hand of Arsenal, have come out and said he is very open to the idea of coming back to London, coming back to the Premier League. That is not an issue for him. This whole thing about his family coming out, I don't know, because no other journalist in England has said that.
I
No
don't believe
journalist-
Hand of
No
Arsenal
credible
would
journalist
that.
has come out and said, yeah, his family doesn't want to come back. He's not looking to come back. All of them have
His
said
brother said that. His brother
all of
said
them have
that.
all of them have said he's open to it. His brother can say whatever his brother can say.
So Hand of Hustle can say whatever the Hand of Hustle can say. What do you mean?
Bro, his brother
kinda-
his brother is not him, bro. His
And
brother is
Hand
not
of
him.
Hustle is not him either.
Yes, but he has news, bro. He has information, bro.
And his brother talks to him directly. So I
His
don't
brother is-
wait.
his brother is
Are
a
you
prick.
saying his brother is a bad source of information for Julian Alvarez? Is that what
Nah,
you're saying?
It's not. But
Okay.
but
Go on.
circumstances change. Circumstances change. I need to get
Okay.
the article that I read, yeah, because there's an article that came out of Spain saying that he is not on good terms with Simeone. Because I know you were saying the stuff about Argentinian this and that. I don't think he's on good terms with Simeone. I don't think he's on good terms with Simeone, and that's one of the reasons for him leaving. Also,
Thank you,
on top of
Denzel.
that-
Hand of Hustle has
top-
been shaky lately. All the stuff he said is gonna happen.
Bro,
It didn't
hands of
happen
Arsenal has
recently.
not been shaky lately, bro.
He has been. He
The
said
only reason
all
why
the-
people are saying
the Rogers stuff and the manga thing. I know he came out saying I was angry with the manga, the way we handled it, but he said it's almost done. He said it's done. So clearly he wasn't as well informed as he thought he was.
no, but hold on,
Which
on
is
a minute.
fine, which is fine, which is fine.
Hand
People
of
get it wrong.
Arsenal,
That's okay.
Hand of Arsenal stated that it was done, yeah, or it was nearly done, is what I think he said. People are saying he said it was done. It was nearly done, which listen, we don't know. We're not in the room. We're not privy to that conversation. We're not privy to that news. We're not privy to that information. But I'm happy to go with the guy who has got 95% of the stuff correct. Yeah, you can point out numerous stuff. You can point out stuff that David Ornstein's gotten incorrect before. You can point out stuff that Fabrizio Romano has got.
To be honest,
got incorrect.
Fabrizio Romano has got some stinkers in him as well.
Like you can name anybody who got stuff wrong, bro. Like anybody can get stuff wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're not. These men are not like Mystic Meg, bro. So they're not gonna understand if something might go like left all of a sudden. Like, do you know what I mean? It was a hijack. They're called hijacks for a reason. They're not something you see coming. But I think in regards to the Alvarez deal, he's been open to coming to the UK. Okay, you're saying that his brother said that. I don't even know how long he said that ago. How long ago was that he said that?
I'm not sure. Maybe a year or
But
so.
regardless, situations change. Stuff changes. It's not like, okay, so his family are happy there and he's happy at Spain. He's always going to be happy there and they're always going to be happy there. So he might want to leave. He might want a change. So, listen, for me, I look at the situation. I think it is a doable deal. I think if Barcelona are out of this, if Barcelona are still involved and they keep on going and then somehow, like, listen, if Barcelona are still in the cut, I think there's a very low chance. I agree with you, a 10% chance if Barcelona are involved. If Barcelona come out of this,
No, I meant 10% chance if there's no Barcelona. If Barcelona is in the picture and Atletico succumb, 100% he's not joining us.
Yeah,
he would
then there's
definitely
no
push.
chance. Yeah,
And
so
by
you're
the way-
saying without Barcelona, there's a 10% chance.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm saying without
Yes.
Barcelona, it's 10%.
Wow.
But I'll tell you this. Like, I actually think they will give up to Barcelona in the end because I think the money will be too good. He's gonna throw a lot of fit. They're not gonna want to keep an unhappy player for that long and lose on money that's guaranteed just for the sake of being egoistic and saying, "Oh, we could win the title. We could win La Liga." Bro, you're not winning the La Liga. Give it up. You have no quality that can compete with Barcelona and Madrid next season. So I don't get this logic. So you're gonna lose La Liga on top of, with Alvarez, and on top of that, lose 100 million. That's stupid. I think at some point they will give up and say, "Screw it, might as well let him go, or we're losing a lot of money." And if that doesn't happen, I think they will convince him to stay. They might even tell him, "Hey, you know what? We'll give it to you in writing. Stay one more year, and if Barcelona give us this money next year, you can go to them. It's fine." I think they'll eventually they'll succumb to something because Atletico, unfortunately for them, are not coming from that position of strength. They're acting like they are. Oh my God, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. No, you're not. You're a second tier football club overall. You don't have that kind of pull and that kind of power that can force you to keep players. You wanted to keep Griezmann, and then when Barcelona put the money, you ended up selling him. You don't act like, oh my God, we are too good to let some of our top players go. At some point they're going to have to make a decision, and I think that decision will be Either they sell him now for big money, or they'll say, "Fine, we'll give it to you in writing. Stay one more year, help us try to compete and win the league, and we'll give it to you in writing. And if Barcelona meet this structure, we let you go." I think that's what's going to happen, and I think he'll definitely take it, because why would he not?
Listen, I just think, there is a decision for him to go to Spain, go to Barcelona, sorry, and that is his dream. And if, like I said, it's a very low chance if they're still in the picture. But Barcelona have said we're waiting until the end of June or end of July, sorry. If nothing happens by then, we're gonna move on to other targets. We're not gonna
Yeah, I
sit
hope you're
around.
right. I really hope you're right.
We're not gonna sit around. And if they come out, I'll be so real, bro. It's looking mad. It's looking mad because these. I keep on hearing this thing about Victor Gyökeres and swap deal. I'm hearing it more and more every single day. People are coming out and saying it. Journalists are coming out and saying it. And they keep on saying it, and they keep on saying it. Bro, I actually think Victor Gyökeres could go the other way.
If that happens, good riddance.
If Barcelona come out of it, this is all talking about if Barcelona are not involved anymore. I think Victor Gyökeres goes the other way. We get which, listen, for me, I was looking to be honest, I was at work, so I was briefly reading the argument that T and Ash were having, because it was a madness. Like, these guys were just arguing on a madness.
It's just emotional, bro. It's insane.
Listen, even if we
He
want
loves
to sit here
Gyökeres, but
even if we want to say Gyökeres is better,
no, but hold on,
Go.
but between I agree with Ash's point that I would sell Gyökeres if
go on, bro.
available. But I still don't know who is a better player between Moreno and Gyökeres at striker, because that's the bit that I think T was talking about, and that
I mean, stats wise, Moreno's been proven to be better, and we even spoke about attributes.
He's played less games though, Ash, obviously, so he's gonna have he doesn't have to do it.
What do you mean?
I'm
I'm saying goals per game. Yeah, goals per 90.
Yeah, so I'm saying Moreno's played less, so he's
no. If you do it per 90, it doesn't mean.
If you do it per 90, it doesn't matter. Unless you're only comparing 5 games with 50 or 40, then yes, the small sample size can help you.
Bro, you don't understand my point. I'm saying, yes, Moreno's played less games, but it's per 90 anyway. But I'm saying, if a striker plays 5 games and scores 5 goals, and a player scores 20, and a player plays 20 games and scores 10 goals, right? The players, the more games you play, the harder it is to stay consistent scoring.
We get it. But Moreno didn't play 5 games. He played 23 games as a striker. So that's a big enough sample size for us to say,
off the bench as well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm only counting striker only, no other position, only striker. By the way, coming off the bench and scoring is a big thing. It's actually not easy. So if he's come off the bench and scored, that is mental, right? So my point is, if you only compare him as a striker with Victor Gyökeres' run, the only thing Victor Gyökeres has over him is speed, which is not even something great in Gyökeres. It's not like he's like Martinelli quick, but it's just that, fair enough, he's quicker than Moreno. But in terms of dribbling, in terms of passing, in terms of finishing, in terms of holding onto the ball, linking up play, all of that is in Moreno's favor. And that's what I was discussing with T. And T was like, no, in terms of goal scoring, actually, in terms of goal scoring, the stats say Moreno is better, because Moreno averages more goals per game and more assists per game. So he's even better at creating chances as well, not just scoring.
Yeah, fair enough.
And by the way, please understand, I don't want either of them as a striker. I don't want Moreno as a striker. I don't want Victor Gyökeres as a striker. I don't want Havertz as a striker. I do want us to get a better striker, 100%. But if I have to pick the less of 2 evils or 3 evils in this scenario, for me, Moreno does a lot better than the other 2. Havertz, I think, gives us something that Moreno doesn't give us, which is that dynamism and the pace, and he probably attacks and troubles defenders a lot more. He's a lot more of a pest to defenders, I think, but he sucks when it comes to finishing. He's our worst finisher at the club.
That's the problem. This is the thing. I actually think, going into the new season, if they can get Alvarez in, I think there's a good way to use or utilize Havertz. Because if you take Christos Tzolis, who is a very
Yeah.
good player at crossing the ball into the box, set pieces. He's very good. If you look at his numbers, if you look at his stats, completed crosses, attempted crosses, he loves that. I think there's a good chance you play him with a player like Havertz, and you can get a lot out of them too. They can link up very well with each other, and you can get a lot out of them with him going into those areas. Which I can then see. You know what? At least we're trying to utilize Havertz for his strengths rather than not utilizing what he doesn't have, which is the finishing ability in front of goal. Which, listen, Havertz has been injured, this and this and that, but even then there was nothing will make me forget that moment in that Man United game where he missed that ball from 4 yards out, bro. So
Exactly, and Newcastle as well.
Nothing will
cup.
make me nothing will make me forget that. Do you know what I mean? That's something that lives in my head rent free for the rest of my life. But listen, for Alvarez, what I was gonna say though, before we go to the super chat quickly, because I think obviously Ali A, don't worry, I've seen your comment. I actually starred your original comment, but we'll watch we'll do the super chat anyway because I knew what you were saying.
Big up,
Don't worry.
Ali.
But on the Alvarez thing, I actually think when you're speaking about Alvarez, who would I rather have at my club, Alvarez or Gyökeres? If I had to pick one,
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, and I understand. Okay, you could say to be honest, if you look at the stats, I'm pretty sure like Alvarez wasn't that bad of a he had goals. I remember him scoring goals and being a good striker in that sense. But regardless, if you don't want to go, if you want to say that Gyökeres is the better goal scorer because of his work in Portugal and this and that, everything else, Alvarez is better, bro.
I don't even think he's a better goal scorer. Alvarez would score more goals in the Premier League than him.
I just think he suits our system more, and I'd like to keep them both if I could. I'd like to keep them both. I'd like to keep Victor Gyökeres and add on Alvarez on top of that. Do you know what I mean? That would be brilliant. But the reality is, I don't know if we've got enough space in the squad for all of that. That's mad. That's 3 strikers. Because where's Havertz going if he's not a striker? Where's this guy going if he's not a striker, bro? Do you know what I mean? So it is a bit mad. It is a bit mad. I can't lie. But Bruno G, guys. Actually, let's while we're on Bruno G, big up to Ali A, who says, lads, what happens if Bruno G goes to City if Rodri goes? Listen, today it came out that a lot of the clubs have moved away from Bruno G. It's expected that he's going to go to Arsenal. I really see us closing this deal within the next couple of days, if not maybe early part of next week. I see us closing this deal down, and then moving to other bits and bobs that we're doing, focusing on getting a left winger, which is a bit weird because normally you get, you'll get multiple positions coming out. You will link to this guy, we're linked to this guy, we're linked to this guy, we're linked to that, we're linked to this. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit weird that we're only linked, or right now we're only like solely looking at Bruno G. But obviously I don't think they were expecting to reach the impasse that they did. But if he does go to City, then that is a big hit. Because I think Bruno Gomes is perfect for what we need. He is perfect for what we need. I think he can help Rice in that DM position. I've seen him play that kind of DM position for City, for Newcastle many times, and help his midfielders say, I'm gonna deal with getting the ball back. I'm gonna deal with the shit that you have to do. Interceptions, roughing up the players in the midfield. You guys just go and get the ball up top. And even then, on top of that, go look at his progressive passing. Go look at his passes forward. Look at his stats passing forward as well. Because he is like the perfect midfielder for what you need right now. He can help you in all aspects. If you want him to sit there and do defensive work, and you want him to be the annoying midfielder who's pickpocketing people, being aggressive, being like muscly, he can do that. If you want him to play the attacking type and for him to go and carry the ball, for him to to do the progressive passing thing, to try and find runners. He'll do that. If you want him to score goals,
Look,
listen,
unfortunately,
have a couple of goals in
unfortunately,
him.
I do see Ali A's point though. I do worry that if City now lose Rodri and come in for him hard, he might pick them just because A, they might offer a better package. They definitely would be willing to pay Newcastle more money than what we're willing to pay. And I think Bruno will know I'm a guaranteed starter over there for a team that probably plays a lot more attacking football. But then again, I can also see him thinking, you know what, I have Martinelli here, I have Gabriel here. I'm also a starter here. I think he'll know he's a starter either ways. But I think there he's more of a guaranteed starter. Like there's less competition. There's no competition actually. If he joins there, it's him, Elliot Anderson, and then let's say
There's
Shirky.
literally him and Nico Gonzalez.
Nico
Brother,
Gonzalez is not
what is that,
competition.
man?
Stop it. That's like
No,
that's
no,
like
no.
saying
I'm saying that's the person that's in his position right now. If
Exactly.
Rodri leaves. So
exactly,
it's not
exactly.
even competition. Do you know what I mean?
It's
just
not even
like you're
competition.
coming-
He'll
you're coming
he'll
in as a
easily walk.
starter, bro. So
100%.
I agree. It's
I think it comes only down to the package then. If City lose Rodri and they also go for Bruno G, I think it'll only come down to the package and who's willing to pay more money. And I feel like City would beat us to that because I don't know, man. Sometimes
Which
I
is
feel
why,
like we
which is
are.
why we got to do our, which is why we got to do our business early and try and get Bruno. Because now the longer we wait, the more now
That's
City
fair.
might
That's
come
fair.
in, and then we could lose him again. And then Saad's gonna say, "Oh, we Arsenal did the right thing." This is the problem, bro. We can't keep being timid and slow with our transfers.
Yeah, that's fair.
if we weren't, but the only thing is, if we just succumb to what Newcastle wanted, we would have paid 100 million. That's what I'm saying, bro. Imagine you pay 100 million on Bruno G at the age that he's at, bro. It's madness, bro. It's madness. I can understand you paying that for somebody who's like 24. Do you know what I mean? And at that level, because he's got years. He's got still prime years to go. Like, do you know what I mean? He's in the middle of his prime right now.
Look,
Towards
I
the
wouldn't
back
pay
end of
100
it.
million. I agree, but that means get someone else then. Like,
But
if you're not willing,
75 million, it is what it is. If we're paying that for him, it is what it is at this point.
yeah, but then we
But-
shouldn't waste time. We should have already given 75 million. If they said no and we're like, okay, we're not going a penny more than that, screw it. Go get Boadi. Go get someone else who you're willing to pay that kind of money for because they'll give you a much longer period.
I think
This
that's who they
dilly-dallying,
go for.
Yeah,
I
this
think
dilly
that's who they
dallying,
go
I
for.
agree with Souls. I think this is
I
disgusting.
think they go for Boadi. Ayub Boadi, he's
Maybe.
like he's there, bro. I've already seen Nico Shearer saying that they've agreed personal terms with him on a 6-year contract, and I think they're ready to pounce.
Who, Man
if
City,
Rodri
you mean?
leaves.
Or Arsenal?
Yeah, they've agreed terms with him already. No, Man City with Boadi.
Yeah, Man City, yeah.
Nico Shearer, he posted it that Man City with Boadi, they've agreed to personal terms, and it's the thing is with them, they didn't want to. Lille wanted to keep him for 1 year. They don't want to give him the 1 year. They want him to come now and
I
then
hear
be in
it.
their team now. So listen, I think they'll go out and buy Boadi. I don't think our Bruno G deal is at risk, but listen, man, you never know, bro. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen because it's serious. This market, man. Anything can happen. Anybody can come and just drop 150 million, 120 million. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. So listen, we have to see where it is, man. But the left wing options, I am a bit concerned, just because the thing is, yeah, I want to know what are they looking for, because you know what? Just 1 second, because I need to get my charger. Yeah, I need to get my charger for my laptop. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be right back. Just talk about the left wing option. Let's talk about the left wing options.
I mean, there aren't. Look, I guess we'll start with. I mean, we spoke about him last week, but I said it before. I'll say it again. I am quite happy we missed out on Rodgers. Obviously, you guys know my stance on it. I've been saying from way before, even when we weren't, even when we were heavily linked with him, and it looked like we were going to get him. I said I hope we don't sign him for the left wing position because I just don't think he's a good left winger in my opinion. He's a decent 10. And I would have taken him as a 10, but it doesn't address are major problems in my opinion. So I am glad we missed out on him, and for that kind of price. My God, imagine I would not even sign him for 50 million to play him left wing, let alone 100 and whatever 17 or 16 million that was paid by Chelsea. Obviously, there's not a lot of big options in the market. I want us to go for players like Yildiz. I think Yildiz would be really, really good for us because while he's not explosive in terms of pace, but he's an elite dribbler. He's someone who can strike the ball really well. He can pass. He can create chances. So I do think he elevates our game tremendously on the left wing. But obviously, if he's not a possibility, I would also look at players like Diomande, who's obviously, he looks like he's being available now since I don't know, PSG seem to be dilly-dallying with him. I would look at Nico Williams. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of his, but I do think he has good quality. Obviously, he's missing the numbers, which I think he will get in a team like Arsenal that can create a lot more chances. And to be honest, in big competitions, at least for Spain, he does show up. He's quite clutch. So I do think he has that clutch gene that can show up. And he's got pace, he's got physicality, he's got dribbling skills. He can finish, obviously. But I wouldn't mind Barcola. I just feel Barcola is a pace merchant like Martinelli, but maybe slightly smarter than Martinelli. Like he uses his pace smarter than what Martinelli does. And while that's an upgrade, but I don't think it's that big of an upgrade that I'd want to sacrifice big money on it, in my opinion. So Barcola wouldn't be my top option. I would rather take a risk on Mika Khutz than go for Barcola, right? But obviously Barcola is better than no one, so for sure. So I wouldn't be that mad at Barcola, but I just think we need to prioritize players like Yildiz, players like Diomande if they're available, obviously.
You know Diomande.
Ash is going to PSG.
You know, with Diomande, I don't think he's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. The reason why is because apparently he wants to play on the right side, which is not gonna happen with us.
Why do people think that? You guys know he's a left winger, not a right winger, right?
No, because he's said that apparently it's coming from him. His preference is to play on the right. And do you know what hold on, he hasn't said it himself. Obviously, he hasn't said it out in the open, in public, yeah? But do you know what convinces me that happens? Is because he was played on the right at times for Ivory Coast. That first game, he played on the right. He must be asking, I want to be on the right. I want to play on the right. I want to play on the right. Even journalists have come out and said.
I feel like Sad sees anything on Twitter and goes, "Yeah, apparently this was happening." He just read some random guy that said something. He's like, "Yeah, this is happening now."
Wallahi, I didn't.
Bro, Diomande.
Bro, if I wanted to read hold on, you pussy. Let me speak. Yeah. If I wanted to speak, if I wanted to listen to some. No, hold on. If I wanted to listen to some random guy, I'd come here and tell you. Dean James said this and that. Who the fuck's Dean James, bro? Nobody even knows who this fucking guy is. This guy could be some random guy sitting in his mum's basement. Bro, I'm telling you, people who have track records, bro. Let me go. I'll find it, bro. I'll find it. I'll find it.
Guys, I just searched. There is no quote. There is no quote of Diomande saying he prefers playing on the right. He is actually a left winger. The reason he plays on the right for Leipzig is because the other winger, Antonio Nusa, is also a left winger. And unlike Diomande, who can play with both feet, Nusa can only play on the left, which is why Diomande plays on the right. But actually, Diomande is right-footed first, not left-footed. Even when he plays to the right wing, he does a lot of things with his right feet first. So I don't know where people are getting this notion from. For Ivory Coast in the World Cup, he actually looked a lot better playing on the left, dribbling on his stronger foot, than dribbling on the right. He can play both wings effectively well, don't get me wrong. But he's primarily a left winger, not a right winger. I don't know where people are getting this nonsense from.
I'll find it, bro. I'll find it.
I literally searched for it. It says no direct public quote exists of Yan Diomande explicitly stating a personal preference for the right wing.
It's not him stating it. That's why I said it to you. It's not him that stated it.
Okay, so how do people know? How do you know he plays better on the right?
I'm saying it's reported that he wants to
Yeah,
play
what was
regular
reported?
minutes on the right.
Yeah,
That's why
how?
he-
How did they know if he didn't say it? How did they know that?
Because it comes from inside the club. He's not going to sit here and say it. He's going to say it to his manager. He's going to say it within the club. Oh, I want to play on the right. I want to play on the right. Like, why are you acting like this stuff is like, if he doesn't...
Bro, I
say
guarantee
it-
you that's not true. Because if you just watch him play, right, you can tell he's a left winger. The fact that he uses his right foot that much to try and cut it and stuff, you just watch him play on the right versus when he's playing on the left. On the left, he looks a lot more comfortable when he's dribbling versus on the right wing. On the right wing, he just tries to use space as much as possible. It's like Doku. Doku can play both wings, but we all know Doku's better, way better on the left wing. I can show you videos of him right now, like compilations and highlights, and watch how he's clearly a left winger. Because he's right-footed primarily.
Hold on. We'll find it.
I'll show you right now. 1 second.
Souls, while we're doing this, can you talk, bro? Wallahi, this guy's just sitting there like some random NPC on GTA, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, you gonna talk?
Hey, bro, what's the question?
This guy.
Yeah, and talk, bro. Talk.
What's the question?
Bro, what are your thoughts
Oh, you
on
mean
the left wing market?
Oh, you mean on the left wing, bro? Listen, I said it earlier, bro. If you want my thoughts on the left wing, go and watch the YouTube video from last week. There's nothing's changed since then. Literally, we lost that on Rodgers. Everyone knows my opinion on that. Barcola, no new links. Nothing's going on.
Sorry, Souls. 1 second. I'm just
Yeah,
showing
go
the
on, bro.
video. Guys, watch this, yeah? Look at him. He only uses his right foot. He's gonna score a goal now from he's scoring from the right side. Look how he's using only his right foot. He doesn't use his left. Cut with his right, chop with his right, cut with his right, then shoots with his right. He's a right-footed player. Yes, he can play with his left feet. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him do some nice stuff with his left feet. But he prefers playing on his right feet with his right feet, which is what makes him look at this. This is from the right dribble, the way he dribbled past the keeper with his right feet. Why isn't he using his left feet then if he's that comfortable playing on the right wing?
I mean, he uses
Or with his right foot only. Yeah, bro, come on. That's a tap in. What do you want about there?
I listen,
Look
man.
at the shot. Even though it was a deflection, it was with the right feet as well. The right foot is there with his left foot. He's clearly a left winger, bro.
Yeah.
Look at Ali A. Ali says Mane was the same. Ali A, that's my point. Mane saw the best of Mane. Just because someone can also play the other wing doesn't mean he's not primarily a left winger. Desiree Doué can play both wings, but he's primarily a left winger because he cuts in on his right foot a lot better when he's playing on the left. That's why he scored some of these screamers like last season or the season before this. Look at this 1-2 play that he did. He just played the 1-2 with his right foot and then he squared it with his left. Finished with his right foot. He could have finished out with his left foot. Why did he do that? This is what I'm saying, guys. Like, he is... Look at this. Another dribble with his right foot on the right side. He plays on the right because Nusa is primarily a left winger. He cannot play on the right. So they have no choice.
I'll show. I need.
By the way, he's a baller. By the way, I tell you, the fact that he completes the second most dribbles per game in the top 5 leagues in Europe. The only one above him is Yamal. That should tell you everything you need to know. Honestly, if we can get him, I would 100% go for him. Genuinely, I would 100% go for him because he can fill on the right if needed. He obviously can play on the left, which I think is his primary position. He's a good dribbler. He's a good passer. He's a good finisher. He's like Madueke with brains. Which would be amazing to have with the left wing if Saka comes back to his best on the right. The only thing is he's also made it very clear he wants PSG. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Ashraf, do you rate him? I rate your takes majority of the times. Big up iNotes. Yeah, I do rate him iNotes, to be honest. I stopped watching the Bundesliga last season, but everything I've seen of him is showed me. And he's 19. He's doing this at 19. You know what I look for in a young player? Not his dribbling skills, because a lot of young players can have great dribbling skills. That fades with time as you grow older. what I look for in a young player is his IQ. Does he make the right decisions in the final third? Because that is something I don't think you can teach a player. That's something that only comes maybe later with like the age of 28, 29, 30. By then it's too late. And in terms of IQ, he clearly has IQ in abundance. He has IQ in abundance because he makes the right decisions in the final third. And yeah, he dribbles at an elite level. He's got crazy pace. So I know he wants PSG Ali. That's the same as Alvarez wanting Barcelona. I get it. But PSG are thinking twice about the move, right? So if PSG don't sign him, I think he will think about leaving Leipzig anyways, and we can pounce on that. Sesko wanted Arsenal last season initially until we pulled out and got Gyökeres, and then United went and took him. Players can say a lot of things. In the end, if they have no other choice, they will move.
Well, actually,
I heard he'll be 100
exactly. If
million
they have
euros.
no other choice,
See,
he's
a player I would pay 100 million euros for, by the way. He's a player I would 100% pay 100 million euros for.
100 million euros.
Yes, for Diomande, I would pay that.
I'd probably pay a bit more than that.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't look. I think I agree with Ash. I think he's definitely a left winger. You can see he's more comfortable going on his right foot. But listen, I hope we get Diomande. I hope we get somebody. Listen, we need to go for. Listen, if we don't get, I just don't want to be left with only Tzolis. I don't.
Bro, I'm telling you,
it's not going to be Tzolis.
I really hope I'm wrong, wallahi. But I genuinely think Tzolis is going to be such a big flop. And we're going to be sitting here just like Norgard thinking, bruh, why did we sign him? Like he's going to score 1 or 2 goals in the beginning. And we're going to go like, oh, there you go. See? And then he's going to go through 10, 15 bad games. And we're going to be like, bruh, this was such a bad signing.
But technically he's good, bro. He's quite technically gifted, and he's finishing. Even though he's in a shit league, if you look at the quality of his finishing, yeah, even like like Saudi Pro League, for example, you see some of the finishes. Yeah, the keeper could save a lot of them, but for someone to even be able to get some of those goals on target, like some of Solis's goals, most Prem keepers probably can't save that I've seen him score. Like,
can I be honest, Souls? It's a lot easier to shoot that well and to pass well and to finish well when you have so much time and space. The Premier League does not give you that at all. You barely get any opportunity in the Premier League where you have more than 1 second on the ball in the final third. That's the reality. And when he's played against big teams in the Champions League, like Arsenal, like Man City, like Barcelona, he did not show up in any of those games. When the teams that don't give him space.
Did he not do well in the UCL?
No, he played against us. He played against Barcelona and he played against City. He didn't have a great game in any of them. Don't get me wrong, he didn't play bad. It's just that it is what it is. Like
I think
these are teams that don't give him space,
bro. I think it's the team that he was in as well, man.
What do you mean?
They listen. The thing is, yeah, for me,
bro, City played against Bodo Glimt and their attackers showed up. So
I look at Tzolis. And I think he's coming in. One thing I look for in him is his creativity. That's going to be key. We don't need to look completely at, oh my God, is he going to be able to consistently get past his man and this and this and that? As long as he can link up and be from what I've seen of people who actually sit here and do this scouting thing.
I'm looking at some of these goals though, man. Some of these finishes that he's doing, even in the league he's playing in, they're really tough goals to score. You need to be a good finisher to be able to.
I said he's a good shooter. I said he's a good shooter
as well. And it's in tight spaces as well.
There's one where there's literally 5 players. There's 5 players on him, and he hit like that.
I've seen that.
What was that goal? Yeah, the goal where there's 5 players on, and he hit it so softly, cleanly, and he went.
Guys, it's not the same as the Premier League, man. The Premier League quality is so much higher.
He's a good finisher.
They would close you down and rough you up, bro.
But he's a good finisher. And you know the funny, if you let him get his shot away, he's a good finisher. He's like Trossard.
You know the funny thing is, Souls, we saw him in the Premier League, right? And I don't remember anything good about him in the Premier League. I don't remember him having any good impact in the Premier League when he played for Norwich.
Can I tell you what happened?
Can I tell you what happened? He played for Norwich. He played against Arsenal.
Oh,
can I tell you what happened?
Actually played for Arsenal.
Can I tell you what happened? Hold on. Somebody
played in the Prem.
Yes, against Arsenal, yeah, and against other teams, obviously. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Apparently, what happened is he stole. Now this is a bit mad, but he stole in one of the games towards the first. In one of the games, he stole the ball off one of his players to try and take a penalty. Like the guy was taking a penalty. The guy, oh, wallahi, he did this, bro.
Okay. He stole a penalty, and then what?
He stole a penalty, he missed it, and apparently, like the manager didn't like it because he was. Obviously, he was young, yeah, but this guy was he was selfish.
But he didn't have an impact before that, anyway.
But after that, Farker, the manager at the time, benched him and didn't like him, and then they ended up sending him on loan. You can go check it, bro. They sent him on loan after that, and then I think on loan again.
I'm not even checking that.
And he came back. The guy. I watched the video of the guy. Yeah, he was doing the story of thing. You know how these guys like to do the story thing of Tzolis and where he was born and this and that. And I was like, what? I didn't know that happened at Norwich. Apparently he fell out completely with the manager and then wasn't played at all. He didn't even give him a chance.
30 games. He played 30 games for Norwich. Now, granted, a lot of them are off the bench, to be fair.
Bro, he brought him on. He brought him on.
3 goals and 2 assists.
Apparently, he was bringing him on. Apparently, he was bringing him on for pity minutes. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes here.
How old was he? How old was he at Norwich?
I think he was like 18, 19 something like that.
Okay, yeah. Then we shouldn't be talking about that. Listen. Look,
I know, but you would at least you would see. For example, Diomande is 19, but you're seeing attributes. Now, Desiree Doué was 19 or 18. You saw attributes. Waneri was 16. We saw attributes. Max Dauman was 16. We saw attributes. Yes, you don't see the full package. I would never penalize Waneri and Max Dauman for low GA. I get it, but at least you're seeing the quality. We didn't see that at Norwich. Nobody saw him at 19 at Norwich and said, wow, this guy could be a top winger in the future. Nobody said, guys, honestly, as a winger in the Premier League, you either have to have mad skills or mad pace at the very least with some decent IQ. That's why Madueke, despite being brain dead, because of his PNP, made it in the Premier League and made it seem like he could be a top winger. Obviously, he turned out to be a bum, but you know what I mean. Martinelli at the age of 9, Martinelli at the age of 18, 19, obviously he turned out to be brain dead as well. But because he had PNP, he made it. He looked like, wow, he could be something in the future. If you don't have PNP at the very minimum, you should at least have insane dribbling skills. And he doesn't have PNP, and he doesn't have crazy dribbling skills either. Yes, he's an elite shooter, but I'm sorry, that's not going to take you far in the Premier League with the physicality.
He's even a very good passer, which I think we can utilize.
Then okay, fine. If that's the case, get him and play him in the 10. Wallah, if you tell me, hey, he's coming to play in the 10, I have no issues because his physical attributes could work in the 10. He doesn't need to be a crazy dribbler. Tzolis. Tzolis. Because he's a creator, as you guys are saying, and because he can shoot, as you guys are saying, play him in the 10. But you're playing as a winger in Arsenal that faces low blocks consistently and rough defenders. That's not going to work. Trossard is an anomaly.
I would have taken, look, I think there's a lot of players you missed out. I would have taken Mbeumo. I would have taken Cunha. Cunha is not a traditional left winger, but again, at least we know he's got his prem proven. He can finish. He's quite direct. He can get past people. Look, I don't know, right? He's definitely, we know for a fact, Ash, that he's been brought in to be a backup. It's already been communicated.
You say that, but if we don't sign a winger, he's going to be starting. We said the same thing about Madueke, and then Madueke started a lot of games even when Saka was here.
It's been documented.
And you guys also can't scrub out Martinelli. I know we don't rate Martinelli. It's true we don't, but let's not scrub him out like he's shit, bro. He scored big goals for us last season. Do you remember his goal against Man City? Unbelievable.
He's garbage.
One of the unbelievable finish against Man City.
So what? Lucas Podolski had some good moments. So what?
Yes,
guys.
Hey. Garbage though.
I don't dunk on Lucas Podolski, bro. Relax.
Yeah, Podolski was in garbage.
Bro, Podolski is actually my guy, bro. I actually love Podolski.
For the hype he came from Cologne. Okay, he wasn't. I agree, he wasn't garbage. But my point is, he wasn't world class. He didn't live up to that hype. We thought we were getting a world class player, and he wasn't that level.
Okay, he wasn't world class, but he was still a decent level. Let's not act like he was.
I know, but when we signed him,
stop, hold on.
Anyways, go on.
At Arsenal right now, who's garbage for you? Garbage, like I mean the actual word garbage.
Martinelli, Madueke. I think Havertz. You guys don't like it, but I think Havertz.
Now you've been disingenuous. Havertz is not garbage.
No, I'm not. Similar. I think Havertz is.
You don't like
I
him,
think Havertz is a decent squad. I think look, that's the thing. It depends on the context of where you're applying them. So Norgard for me isn't garbage because I know he's not a starter. He's not even a backup player unless it's an emergency. So that's fine. That's why I wouldn't call him garbage. But Havertz, unfortunately for us, is a starter. And a starter for Arsenal of that quality is garbage. That's the reality.
Okay, so you're calling him garbage. So you're calling these players garbage based on their role for the club.
Based on the role of the club, exactly, and you have to apply. Guys, as footballers, they're obviously not garbage. They are 10 times better than any of us.
But I believe Havertz. Even though I don't want him, I'd want him sold, and I don't think he should start for Arsenal. I think as a player, you see him for Germany, full international for his country. I think he's a good finisher.
Yeah, but even for Germany, I don't think he's been that great. But by the way, I would love Havertz as a backup. If you tell me Havertz is my backup striker,
so he's not garbage. Then if you want him as a backup, then so
yes, but I'm looking into context. Okay, I'll take it back because maybe it's not his fault that he's starting. That's Arteta's fault. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So let's take back Havertz. But Martinelli is garbage for me, off or on the bench. Madueke is garbage, on or off the bench. And that's it. I think the rest are not garbage.
Every time he mentions Madueke, yeah.
No,
but he mentions his name with so much vim.
Let's take on the Martinelli.
It's insane, bro.
I can't. Look, I want him sold. I'm a hater of Martinelli, but why would you say he's garbage? Well, again, is it because of his role, Ash, or even as a backup?
No. I changed the argument from the role since I realized it might be harsh on Havertz, who doesn't choose to start. I mean, he probably does want to start, but it's not his decision. Martinelli off the bench or on the bench, I think he is garbage because he was supposed to be a good dribbler. He doesn't have that anymore. He doesn't dribble past players. He's got pace, but he doesn't know how to use it. He's brain dead because he makes a lot of the bad decisions. He's extremely inconsistent. He's got one goal in the Premier League last season, guys. That goal you mentioned against City is his only goal in the Premier League.
Okay,
and it's not like he didn't start games.
Yeah, so Ash, as a striker, as our starting striker to win us a UCL and a Premier League, do you think Gyökeres is garbage?
No, that's why I didn't name Gyökeres as garbage. I don't think it's garbage. I think he's an average striker for our quality. Correct. But let's say if he was at Aston Villa, I think he would be a decent striker.
Yeah, I agree.
For example.
Yeah, like he'll be like an Ollie Watkins.
Yes, thank you. I think he'll be like Ollie Watkins. But I think Ollie Watkins is slightly smarter than him, by the way.
I think Gyökeres could improve next
He's not gonna like that one.
I think Gyökeres.
I'm not emotionally attached to footballers. I don't care.
I'm not emotionally attached either. I'm just
guys. You remember last summer,
second half of the season. I'm saying on the basis of the second half of the season, you could see him. He started to grow a bit of growing a bit of confidence. You know,
and then it died off again, and then it went up, and then it died off.
Sad. You don't understand. You having to say that about Gyökeres. No, but sad. You having to say that about Gyökeres already shows and proves Ash's argument, because that means he must have been so bad that now he's getting a bit better. You're praising him for basically coming back from shit that he shouldn't even have been in.
Exactly, and it's not like second half he scored like a goal. It's not like he scored a goal per game in the second half of the season. It's not like he scored a goal per game in the second half. He did well. He did really well in the second half. If he had the same second half as he did in the first half, the same first half as he did in the second half, he would have ended the season really well. So fair enough. But my point is, to make up for that garbage first half, he had to have a Haaland-like second half, which he didn't. Again, maybe that's a bit too harsh, but that's how bad his first half of the season is. Souls and Saad can vouch to this. So wallahi lasting.
Yeah.
Souls and Saad can vouch this, because if T was here, he would say, agenda, you hate him. Guys, did I not beg for us to sign Gyökeres last summer? Was I not begging every day saying, please sign Gyökeres after Isak is the best striker available, blah, blah, blah? Was I not saying that?
Yeah, you did.
Was I not defending?
But you can be objective. But this is the thing. I feel like, because now I'm just so sick and tired of doing this whole player thing. I actually don't care. If somebody plays shit, I'm just going to say it. But the reality of the situation is, I think with Martinelli, yes, he's scored goals and had moments and stuff, but bro, the moment you become predictable in the winger position, you're dead. Because if you become predictable, that you've lost your like your main way to eat in that position.
Yeah, but you know what Ash is saying, yeah. Yeah, we know what Ash is saying. I just believe like Gyökeres is like he's decent, and I think everything Ash says is great. He's decent, probably like an Aston Villa striker. But for you to go to the high levels of winning UCLs and champs and that kind of thing, I just don't think he's good enough. But also another thing, with this whole Tzolis thing, Because I'm looking now, bro. We're gonna miss Trossard, bro. Even people laugh at him, but he did some.
I
He
agree.
he he was he like he did some. I'm watching like his game against Villa when he gave the assist to Jesus, the goal he scored against I think it was against Villa as well, the one where he curled it, unbelievable finish, bro. We're gonna miss Trossard. I would have rather sold Martinelli than Trossard, honestly.
I
Like
agree.
I know Arteta probably thinks Martinelli runs more and he's obviously a good like hard worker. He does a lot of defensive work, but I just believe now we need to sign a left winger, and then obviously we'll see what happens with the striker position, yeah, Alvarez. Also, why are we not trying to sell Jesus? Well, obviously, I'm assuming these guys are on the market. I'm assuming Odegaard's on the market as well, but no
We
one's
are
come in
trying
for
to
him.
sell.
I don't know if you guys would sell. I wouldn't sell Odegaard.
We are
in
trying.
my personal opinion, but
We are trying to sell. We are trying to sell Jesus, but obviously at the moment the price is too high. Is what people are saying, but Arsenal are not budging on their prices. The reality is they set out prices, and in the inflated market, why should we budge on prices? It's an inflated
did you hear that,
market.
Ash? Did you hear that, Ash? What he said? Arsenal are unwilling to overpay in an inflated market. Basically, they're saying we're not going to pay what the market is right now. That's like going to.
No, that's
Yeah,
not.
that's
That's not what I just said.
That's like going
That's
to a
not
real
what I just
estate
said.
agent and saying, "Oh, it has your price." No, not what you said. I'm saying what the report said that I mentioned earlier about Arsenal. About I think it was Ornstein. I can't remember who it was. One of them said Arsenal. Yeah, sorry, it was an Ornstein post for. I don't know if it was Ornstein. Anyway, one of the
It
journalists
was
said
Sami Mockbell,
Arsenal.
bro.
Yeah, Sami Mockbell. So I'm going to pay 70 million for Bruno, and Arsenal aren't willing to pay in an overly inflated market. It's basically you're saying that you're not willing to pay market prices, so then you're not going to get anyone. Because why
No,
would
they're
anyone
not
drop
willing
their
to
prices for
pay
you?
100 mil. They're not willing to pay 100 mil, which is what Newcastle are asking for.
That's not what the post said from Mockbell. So you're just lying again. But he said Arsenal
Bro,
aren't willing to pay.
Newcastle. It's well documented that Newcastle were asking for 100 million. They said, "Oh,
they said he can get it done at
we sold
85.
Tonali
they
for
said,
100 million. This is our cap."
No,
Look,
they
I
said
don't mind them. I don't mind them saying we don't want to pay 100 million for Bruno. Fine, let's say they don't value him there, but there have to be other players where you are okay with overpaying. For example, if we know right now, can we all agree that left wing is the most important position for us to sign someone for? Okay,
Yes.
If we find a left winger that we identify as a number one target and we think he really works. And I'm glad it's not Rodgers. I think they did identify Rodgers to be that guy. And I'm glad it's not him because he's not good on the left wing. But anyways, if they identify someone, whoever that is, you have to be okay with paying whatever the asking price is to get him, even if it's above your evaluation. So if let's say you identify that Barcola is the guy you really want, and you desperately want him to be in the team, and you think he fixes all your left wing problems, I don't think he does. But let's say that Arteta thinks he does, and Berta thinks he does. If PSG say they want 130 million, don't haggle. Maybe you can start with 110. If it's rejected, go to 130 and finish it off. That's when I'll get annoyed. If they say we don't want to overpay or over market price and blah, blah, blah. That's stupid because you are desperate. They are not. They can sell Barcola to someone else. They can sell Nico Williams to someone else. They can sell Diomande to someone else, whoever the selling club is. You are desperate. We are the desperate club right now. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You can't.
When you're desperate, you have to make sure you get the moves done.
Desperate.
You can't show. Yeah, but they're not going to go out and show desperation. Otherwise, you'll get fleeced.
That's why I said
we fall into the same argument that we had last time on the Monday.
Bro, that's why I said you start.
You go and you want to pay anything, bro. Then you're done, and you fall into the same
Nobody's saying pay anything. I understand. They go. Wait, stop. You didn't understand my point.
Before, and now you're telling me pay.
Sad. I literally started by saying, if they ask for 130, you start with 110. I completely get that. That's negotiation. But I'm saying we cannot then say, if they say, sorry, we're not accepting 110, we go like, okay, we're going to walk away then. Nah, I'm sorry. You keep upping the price until you get to a point where they accept it. If you have to eventually get to their price, you get to their price. Because you have identified that he's your number one target on the left. You need to get him.
Okay, so but I don't agree. In your argument, you said 110, and then you said if they don't accept 110, we walk away.
No, we don't walk away. If it's a number one target for the left wing,
but
we don't walk away.
That's what you're against, is them paying 110 and saying if you don't accept it, we're walking away.
Yes,
I'm against that
I'm
as well.
100%
Yeah,
against
okay,
that.
I'm against that as well because I
Yeah.
feel like they're still like I feel like if they don't take 110, you go to 115 or 120, whatever.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can
Exactly.
get closer to that price. Do you know
Sorry,
what I mean? They just walked away.
Sorry, Ash. Another thing, bro. I'm sorry to bring us back to this argument, but I was looking into something that you said earlier because I was thinking about. You said, "Oh, Martinelli's garbage and he scored one goal," but then I feel like you very smartly didn't want to mention his UCL record last season, which was very good. That
It was
Atletico Madrid
fantastic. I've
goal.
mentioned it many times before, but
Yeah, so he's
you
not
spoke.
garbage then, is he? Because the Atletico
No,
Madrid
he
goal was
is
a very good
garbage.
goal.
He is garbage because the Champions League goals he scored were all in the group stage when there was less pressure.
Against good
When
teams,
we
though.
play,
Against good teams.
yes, but it was still less pressure. This is what we spoke about Souls last season. We said all this amazing attacking football Arsenal played in the group stage. Can they replicate it when there's real pressure in the knockout? And guess what? We didn't. Every game we played in the knockout, we scraped and we didn't play good attacking football, which is fine. In the end, we got to the finals and we lost. And in the final, we also played garbage. And Martinelli, in all those games, minus the Sporting Lisbon game where he gave a really nice assist, didn't show up in those games when he started or when he was on the bench. When he came off the bench against PSG and we needed him to make an impact and we played against an inferior PSG team in extra time, he was the worst player on the pitch. He was the worst player on the pitch. That is garbage. And on the Premier League, which is the bread and butter, where he started a lot of games, he was garbage. He had one good goal, and after that, nothing. He had a couple of decent assists here and there, but he didn't perform for majority of the season. And if it's one season, I'm okay with that. You guys know I never judge a player with one bad season. I'm more than happy to say, let's go another year. This is why I'm okay with not selling enquiries, because it's only one season. But Martinelli has had 3 consecutive bad seasons now. 3. That's a lot, bro. 3 consecutive bad seasons.
I do hear that. Yeah, I do hear that. No, I hear your point. But on the
That's
Bruno
where I
thing,
lost my patience with Odegaard as well, because Odegaard, you guys remember how much I was defending him last summer. I said, guys, it's 1 year. He had injuries, blah, blah, blah. Remember his 2 seasons before that. But now it's 2 consecutive bad seasons, which is why I'm saying, hey, if we sell him, I'm okay with it. Because you cannot keep supporting someone over consecutive. And if Saka has a bad season this season, I will happily say get rid of him if we can. Because I'm not emotionally attached to any player. You have 2 consecutive bad seasons, leave. That's it. We're a champion team now. We're not a top 4 team anymore. Or at least we shouldn't think of ourselves that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And on the point that you guys mentioned around Bruno, like around transfer side, my point was to you, bro, is that I agree with Ash. When you like beggars, there's a saying that we say in the UK: beggars can't be choosers. And I'm not saying that we're begging, but ultimately, in a market which is already quite, there's not a lot of wingers about. There's not a lot of strikers about. You can't allow top strikers to go because you don't want to pay an extra 20 million, 25 million. Because ultimately, you don't have the luxury of being able to decide. That's the problem. We are not Arsenal, as good as we are, and we're a big club. We're not Real Madrid where we can pick a player and that player will go, oh my God, I can't wait to play for you guys. We have to come with some money. We have to come with some project. And we have to pay the going rate. You know what I mean? If we're Real Madrid, we can go and start. Look at Real Madrid now. They'll be like, oh, we're interested in Rodri. Rodri himself is just amazed by being linked with Real Madrid. Rodri himself, Ballon d'Or winner. He's amazed by just being linked with Real Madrid.
Actually, it's working for him.
Exactly. But no one's working.
Yeah.
Exactly. And no one's working.
This guy come out and said, I wanted to return to Spain. I want to play in Spain. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. But no one's twerking for us. You know what I mean? People want to come. Like, obviously, Bruno.
No, there are players who have twerked for us before, but we haven't had someone of Rodri's level to work for us. And look, that will come with time. As we keep getting better and better, that will come with time. Gyökeres obviously worked for us like crazy, but obviously Gyökeres is no Rodri, to be fair. But right now, we are obviously desperate to go back to back. We are desperate to do better in the Champions League, something we've never won before. And we got to the finals last year. Of course, yes, the route was easy. Fair enough. Not easy, but it was less difficult than the other side. Fair enough. But if we want to make sure we repeat that success and we continue being at the top, and right, this is the best time we have to go back to back. And I know, obviously, it'll be like, isn't that common because you just won the league last season? I mean, because the other teams haven't figured out their shit yet. Liverpool are still figuring out their stuff. Chelsea have a lot of changes and new manager. City have a new manager. This is our best time to capitalize on all these changes happening to the other clubs. We are the only club that's stable from the last couple of years. Every other club has had a change in manager, change in personnel, change in players, losing some major players. And if City lose Rodri, don't make no mistake, that will set them back 1 or 2 years before they get back again. We should be capitalizing while the iron is hot, which means we should be not just relying on, okay, we're going to win it by default because everyone else is getting shit. No, we should say, hey, this is our best time. Let's go finalize that Bruno deal. Let's go finalize this. And yes, it's a risk with paying big money, but because we are favorites to win the Premier League, we will make that money back in Premier League money. We're going to make that money back in Champions League earnings, hopefully, if we go far again. I don't know. I feel like the club doesn't have that same level of ambition so far.
I do think they have the ambition. And
okay, yeah. You know what? I take that back. They have the ambition. I don't think they're acting like it.
But they're not acting as quick enough as we'd hope.
Yes.
Because I said this, and listen, I am somebody who is preferably, I like to follow the rule of get your players in before the preseason, make sure they're well settled in. We get through the preseason, we see what kind of player they are, get them introduced into the play style and what we want to do and get our ideas across. Not just they come in early part of the season and they're just thrown in straight away. Do you know what I mean? Just to have to learn on the job. So listen, for me, it hasn't happened, but I can see us going for 3. We've been linked to 3 names. Yeah, we've been linked to Bradley Bakula, we've been linked to Ian Diamande, and we have been linked to Nico Williams. Now, Nico Williams has come back all of a sudden as a name which, listen, we know that we've been interested in this brother for time. Do you know what I mean? Arteta's liked him. Okay, Souls is just gone. Later, Souls. Nico Williams has been somebody that we've been linked for time, bro. Like at least the last 2 seasons, there was news that we were linked to him. And also, and Ali Fabrizio said it, but also other journalists have said that Barcola is somebody that is on the list of Arsenal. He's on their list, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? But yes, yes, it's you obviously have those three wingers. Whether that becomes something, we won't know. I think they're waiting to get this deal over the line. Yeah, I think they're waiting to get this deal over the line with Bruno G. Once they get it over the line, if they get it over the line, that is not. I'm not gonna say it like as if it's confirmed or anything, but if they get it over the line, they manage to get this deal done for Bruno G. Then I see them pivoting onto a left winger. But I do see us getting a left winger.
Can I ask you a question? And maybe all of us are Arsenal fans are biased. So maybe the non-Arsenal fans in the comments can give us guidance here. And please be unbiased, guys. Like, no need for banter and agenda. Do you guys also get the feeling that we are too slow to get certain deals through the line? What I mean by that is certain other clubs, when they're linked with a player, they get deals done a lot faster. Whereas Arsenal, when they're linked with a player, there's a lot of reports of Arsenal are preparing to bid, have contacted, will submit, have to blah, 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 blah. And it takes weeks to even put one bid through the line. Versus with other clubs, maybe it's my bias, which is why I'm asking non-Arsenal fans, because they're probably far removed from it, so they can be a lot more objective maybe. Do you guys feel, just like me, that we take too long to get a deal done? Oh, okay. Liverpool fans are saying it's the same for them. Okay, fair enough.
No, but it may preferably be the same for other clubs. But the reality is, it's always been an Arsenal thing. Arsenal have always been a team. I even remember back when we were trying to get freaking what's his name, Alexis Sanchez. That saga, bro. Like the news. And then you get news, and then you get news. And to be honest, that was a lot. And it wasn't even like the social media era, bro. It wasn't even the social media era. Even now, it's even more like put on. But Arsenal have always been that club who are slow, who are, they it takes a lot for us to just get. But the thing is, we're a bit inconsistent in that regards, because sometimes we can just go bang and then the deal's done. Like, for instance, you look at Havertz, bro. That deal was done within a day, bro. Within a day. We got personal terms agreed and then we put in a bid and it was accepted by Chelsea. I've never seen a deal move so quick.
Wait, for Havertz? You mean for Havertz?
For Havertz deal, bro. I never.
Yeah,
saw
guys,
a deal move so
the
quick.
two garbage players we shouldn't have signed,
Noni Madueke and Havertz. Bro.
Havertz and Madueke, somehow the deals got done.
You know what?
Just
The
like
thing
this.
is,
Boom.
to be honest,
I can't believe it, bro.
It's Chelsea, bro. They snatched our hands off, bro.
Bro,
said,
Chelsea
65 million?
somehow bend us over every summer. You know, Oxen Billah, when I
was
saw the
so
Garnacho
scared,
to
bro.
Villa news,
I was so scared,
so
bro.
happy. Yeah,
Bro,
when I saw Garnacho's up for
Garnacho
sale, I
to
was like,
Villa, yeah?
oh
I was like,
my
woo!
God.
I was at work, bro, and I was like, woo! And then the guy was like, why are you screaming? I was like, bro, Garnacho just went to Villa. I was like,
And I'm telling you, guys, if you think the Rashford news is not gonna pick up legs at some point, you are so wrong. At some point, we're gonna get desperate. It could be the last week of the window before it shuts down. It'll be like a Sterling thing, and we're gonna say, let's go for a loan deal for Rashford with an obligation to buy or an option to buy or something.
Deal, bro.
I'm telling you, it will. We will materialize Rashford. We will make it happen.
You know that was.
That
might have been. Yeah, that might have been one of.
How do Chelsea always get money for these players, though? How do they always get money for these players?
Because they're a good selling club. They're a very good selling
club, bro.
Bro, they'll sell academy players for like 20 or 30 million, bro. We don't have that kind of.
They're a very good selling club, bro. They've got a lot of.
Selling.
No, but the thing is, they've got a lot of connections, and they know clubs to a level where they.
Yeah, we get finessed when
they have a trusted brand of producing good talent.
True, Ash. We get finessed to be sell players, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
whenever we sell players, we get
finessed
so well,
bro. We were buzzing about getting like 15 million from Trossard, bro. Like he's a bro. Trossard just won the league. Like one of the elite finisher in the Prem. Guy, we only got 15 million from him. I guarantee you, if he played for Chelsea, they would have got at least 30, 40 million from him.
They probably would. You know. When it comes to the teams and everything that's happening right now, yeah, with selling clubs and all this stuff, yeah. Listen, for us, it's always gonna be a bit mad, but bro, I can't see another Sterling like debacle, bro, like that type of thing, like. I don't think you guys fully understand.
Well, we did see it last season, and all of you guys accepted it later.
Hold on.
I'm the only one who stood firm.
That must have been like one of my most embarrassing moments, seeing Edu walk out of that room. Yeah, heavy breathing, panting. This guy's acting like he was like in tough negotiations for Sterling, bro. This guy looked like he just completed the transfer for Kylian Mbappe and brought him in to become captain of the Arsenal Football Club, bro. Thierry Henry regen, and then this guy's telling him, oh, it took so long to complete the deal. They have pizza on the tables, bro. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You man sleep in the building or something? What do you mean you're out here heavy breathing for Raheem?
And he was like, oh, you will get you will see the best of me, bitch. We saw the worst of you, bro. You know the only reason why it didn't. The only reason why it didn't impact me that bad, or I didn't even think about it, to be honest, I didn't even care, was because that was the day my daughter was born. So I was just in the hospital, full of glee and joy, and I was like, oh my. I saw the news, and I actually was wearing my Arsenal jersey as well that time when I was in the hospital, and someone saw me, he's like, oh, you're an Arsenal fan, oh, how do you feel about the Sterling signing? I was like, huh? What are you on about? And I went and opened my phone, and I saw we signed Sterling. I saw Edu standing there with Sterling. I was like, bruh, I was like, I guess, I don't know. I mean, hopefully he does well for us. Damn, man. Then later, 3, 4, 5 months later, I realized, you know what? This is a nightmare. But Madueke, for me, that was the real, like, blood boiling thing, man. I remember I kept tweeting, say no to Madueke, say no to Madueke. It didn't seem to work, man.
Yeah, man. You were just retweeting every single one.
Yeah, but tweeting that Ash also doesn't help, you know, because as a player, if you're looking at that,
I don't give a shit. I wish he saw it and said, "Damn, they really don't want me there." You know what? I changed my mind.
Yeah,
I don't
but
want
to
to
go.
I wish.
For self-esteem, it's not very good because he's joined.
I don't give a shit about self-esteem. This is what I told you. I don't have that emotional connection with players where I care about how they feel. It's like a business. You perform or you don't perform.
But you have a moral compass.
Yes, a moral compass allows me to say, I don't want this guy because he's a bad signing for us. He's not going to help my club improve and do what they need to do. I don't care. By the way, if as a professional, you were looking at these tweets and and getting all emotional and sad. You don't deserve to be a footballer then. If someone curses at you or insults you or your family, not even your family, you alone, I think that's despicable and I would never do that. I hate that kind of stuff. Unless I insult you. I've insulted Zinchenko, but that was not football reasons. That was something that he deserved to be insulted for. But Matt Wakey, I would never insult him for a footballing reason, ever. I would never go tweet at him. Or, by the way, even to say no to Matt Wakey, I didn't tweet it at him. But saying say no to Matt Wakey is a very normal criticism to say he's not good enough. He shouldn't be signing at my club. I didn't go and insult him. And if he saw it and he felt bad for it, then you know what? Guess what? You shouldn't be a professional then. Bro, act like a professional. Don't act like a. How about you go use that as motivation to go work harder off the pitch
if you're in the public eye, bro. If you're in the public eye, it should be expected that you're gonna see a lot of mad shit.
Exactly.
People are gonna be tweeting about you. People are gonna be messaging about you. People are gonna be doing this and this and that.
What footballer do you guys know?
Yeah.
What footballer do you guys? Some of the best players in the world get a lot of hate, like Mbappe, Yamal, whatever. Is there a player that you guys think in his career just didn't get a lot, like he was just loved by everyone, just never got a lot of hate?
Conte.
Yeah, exactly the player I was about to say.
I back in my time, Ronaldinho as well.
Loved it.
Didn't get a lot.
I loved N'Golo Kante, bro. I loved him, bro. Like,
yeah, same.
Even though he played for Ops, bro, I loved him, bro, because he was like he was humble.
So guys, here's a point that I want to say to you guys now, and obviously. And here's the thing.
Yeah, Marco, I insult you guys. I wouldn't insult a professional footballer and tweet at him. And I insult you guys to your faces. There's a difference. Like, come on. You know it's a joke. You know I don't really mean when I say you guys.
And he's making a joke.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. And also, hold on. I want to say something now, yeah, because I still haven't deeped this, by the way, with Ash.
Yeah, I liked Hazard as well. I never hated Hazard, by the way. I don't think people hated Hazard.
Yeah. But I'm saying I have a thing with you guys now, yeah, because obviously we haven't discussed this properly, but. What are we saying now on Arteta? Because I remember, like, obviously, and rightly so, Ash was saying stuff like he hasn't got credit in the bank because he hasn't won like any major trophy. Now he's a Premier League winner. What is his status as a manager now? For Arsenal and
Premier League champion.
Clubs? No, I know, but I mean, like, does he have credit? Does he have credit in the bank?
At the moment.
Does he have credit in the bank now? Like, for example, if next season he finishes second. Let's say 3 points off City or something like that.
Yeah,
are you guys back being Arteta? Are you guys back being Arteta outers then?
We go again.
Bravo.
Second, 3 points behind. We go again. Obviously, he shouldn't mess up. He should really attack, play a bit better, blah blah. But there's going to be a lot of context.
Shall I tell you?
Just on the surface level of your example, I would say we go again the season after.
Shall I tell you what the only realistic thing that can get Arteta like sacked or people like off on him
slot type of season.
Arteta finishing like slot, like 4th, 5th, barely making like
I would want him out then.
Champions League and like oh my god, bro, if the guy finishes 2nd or 3rd and it's a tight race and there's 3 teams in it and that shit, like it's mad.
So you're
like,
saying,
obviously you want to win,
so he needs to. Yeah, look, I think if Arsenal can consistently challenge
but we will. But hold on, but that's not been Arteta's problem. Arteta's problem hasn't been he hasn't continuous challenge. He's continuously challenged. Our problem was can he get over the line? That's what he didn't prove.
Which by the way,
by the way, I still stand with what I said last summer. If someone like Enrique or Pep is available, I know they will not be, but if they were. I would sack him today. Not even like, it depends on what happens.
No, but that's what you want to happen. That would never happen.
Enrique,
no, that would never. Of course, bro. Sols, even if he finishes 4th next season, he's not getting sacked. So if you're asking us that question, it's pointless. Right? He won't. No, he won't. After winning the Premier League, he won't get sacked.
Even before winning the Premier League,
I thought Slot wouldn't get sacked.
No. But even before they won it. Even before he won the Premier League, they offered him a 3-year contract. Even before the title race last year, sorry Ash, before the title race was finished last year, they offered him. They said, no matter what happens, if you bottle this or you don't bottle it, we're giving you a 3-year contract. We want you to stay. Bro, and
remember, Slot wasn't there for that long. Slot was only there for 1 season before that. Even though it was a Premier League winning season, it's 1 season. Arteta has built that relationship with the owners for the last 7 years. So if he wins the Premier League and then he has 1 off season, they're not going to sack him anyways. We were just giving our opinions on what should happen. If Enrique or Pep is available today, I would sack him today.
There's only one way that Arteta leaves this football club, and it's if he leaves himself. He says, "Yo, I'm done."
I disagree with that. If he finishes 8th next season, they'll sack him, bro. What are we on
They'll
about?
sack him, yeah. They will.
No, I still think they'd say, you know what, you had a bad season.
Which, by the way,
guys.
No, not 8.
Guys,
Ash, honestly,
which, by the way, guys, if we get Bruno and we get these guys, there is absolutely, in my opinion, I know it sounds cocky, but 0 chance that we finish 8th.
Bro, if we get Bruno and we get a top quality left winger, look, I'll tell you this.
No, hold on, Ash. No. Yeah. Why are you arguing with it? Don't be stupid.
No. I was not gonna argue that.
Arguing the fact that there's a possibility of.
Yeah. There's 0 chance we finish below the top 3. In my
if we get Bruno, like as if we don't sign anybody, we're not finishing 8th.
Exactly. If we sign nobody, we're finishing 2nd or 3rd, in my opinion, next season minimum.
Well,
but
I'll
tell you this: if we sign Bruno and a quality left winger, and somehow we get Alvarez, not only are we 100% winning the league, 100%, not even 60 or 80. Not only are we 100% winning the league.
You can't say that.
Bro, wallahi, I genuinely mean this. If we sign Bruno and Alvarez, and I'll speak a name, Diomande, for example, left wing, not only are we 100% winning the league next season, I think we will reach the Champions League semi-final at a minimum semi-final.
Well, we reached the Champions League final last season.
Yes, but everyone was saying we had the easy route. Everyone was saying if you played Barcelona or Bayern or PSG before that, you would have got knocked out, right? But I think even if we have a difficult route next season, we make it to the semi-final.
But Ash, do you think that honestly, outside
but we won't make these signings
if we did face a Barcelona last season in one of the runs, do you think we would have lost them?
Barcelona, I think we would have knocked them out. I think we would have been knocked out by Bayern or PSG.
Bayern or PSG would have.
But
I think they would have knocked us out.
Obviously, my opinion is, obviously, you know, as an Arteta fan, like, look, I agree with Ash. Like, I think he's got credit in the bank. I think if he challenges, which I think he will, then we need to go again. But if he does go back to back, though, what's the outlook if he wins the league next season? Then where does he become in like Prem, like one of Prem's greatest ever managers? Is he in that conversation?
No.
Does he have to do a lot more?
He still has to do a lot more, bro. Right now, the top 5 managers in Premier League history, in no order, I'm not going to name them in order so people don't get rattled, are Pep, Fergie, Mourinho, Klopp, and Wenger, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Let's assume.
Klopp's.
Yeah,
Klopp, to be honest. I think if he wins the league next season.
No. It's not. I don't think it's Klopp. I think there's a conversation for Wenger or Klopp being 5th. Whoever is 5th, let's say whether it's Klopp or Wenger. So let's take Klopp, for example. Klopp has won a league and a Champions League, plus obviously the Cups. Wenger has not won the Champions League, but he's won 3 leagues and 7 FA Cups. But the thing is, Wenger has been there for that long. For Arteta to overtake any of them, he has to, at the very, very least, win 1 more Premier League and 1 more Champions League. At the very least, for there to be a conversation. But if he doesn't win 1 Premier League and 1, or if he doesn't win a Champions League, he has to win at the very minimum 3 Premier Leagues, minimum, to be in the conversation. He might not even top them then.
Yeah, but don't compare Klopp and Wenger though. I just feel like that's a bit disrespectful to Wenger.
What? Why?
Because Wenger's outside of trophies, bro. He's a masterpiece. Like the guy changed football. He influenced the entire league. Like he's a big name.
And I could argue Klopp did as well. Klopp also helped with the Gengham press, which a lot of teams thought. But to be honest, not a lot of teams followed that.
I'm now going to argue against this club and start talking about why Klopp is. Listen,
bro, this is what I'm sold. The fact
you're talking about a guy
that you said,
bro. I don't know why you're acting like you're not chatting to a guy from 2012 was saying Wenger out, bro.
I've been saying out since 2011, Wenger out. But wait. Let me clarify something. First of all, I was proven right because at that time I said we're going to regress, and we did regress. We started getting worse and worse and worse.
We did regress.
And in his last, one six souls. And in his last 2 seasons, we've missed out on top 4, which a lot of fans convinced everyone was a trophy. That's one.
We didn't have the money.
Secondly, that's BS because there are teams that finished above us that spent less than us. Secondly, I love Arsene Wenger. Just because I wanted him out. Unlike you guys, I can separate my feelings and my logic. I told you guys this last time. Whenever Wenger comes on BN Sports, I religiously sit and watch him. I love the way he talks about football. I love the way he analyzes football. That doesn't mean his time was not done for us. That has nothing to do with him. The reason I'm saying Klopp is in the conversation because Klopp competed against who, in my opinion, the greatest manager of all time, the greatest Premier League manager of all time as well. For me, is Pep. He took him to the wire. He won a league, lost 2 other leagues with 97 and 92 points, won a Champions League incredibly well, and reached another Champions League final where he was by far the better team, and one player in the other team saved Real Madrid. That's Courtois, who was man of the match that season, that game. Klopp did phenomenal things, and Klopp took Liverpool from the gutter. When he came, they were 8th, and he spent way less money than we did to win our league title. And he did it in 5 years. In fact, he did it in 4 years because in his 4th year, he won the Champions League. So you cannot be saying Klopp is not in the conversation. Whether you have Wenger 4th and Klopp 5th, or Klopp 4th and Wenger 5th, whichever order you have, I don't mind. I have no issues with that. I actually can hear Wenger being 4th. But to say Klopp is not in the conversation is stupid. In 8 years he was there.
The logic that you've
he was
used,
fantastic.
Or the
Okay,
I think the argument you've used.
I think Wenger's probably 3rd or 4th, but again, that's my.
Wenger is
opinion.
not above Mourinho. If you guys are saying he's above Mourinho, that's weird
No.
for me. I'm sorry.
No. Only that's fine. Look, only because, bro, I think obviously because I'm a British man, right? For what the FA Cups, the leagues, what he's done in the Premier League, also what he did with a limited budget, what he did, like there was summers where we'd only sign Petr Cech and he still competed for top 4.
You say limited budget, but what did he do with a limited budget? He didn't win the league with a limited budget.
No, but
the moment the budget
history,
went,
right,
he
about the
regressed.
stadium. No, but Ashraf, you do know about.
Yes,
the
you're right,
stadium
and he didn't do anything, and that's why we didn't win. Fair enough, but don't say he did something with limited budget. He didn't do anything. Because the moment the money stopped, he stopped competing.
No, I'm saying he did a lot for what he had.
No, he didn't. Finishing top 4 was not something mental at the time. Because unlike now, the Premier League wasn't that competitive back then. The team we had was more than enough to finish 4th. You get what I mean? He only challenged for the league twice after.
Wenger sacrificed himself to build this fucking stadium. That's reality.
Exactly, bro. Listen, Wenger's
which is also stupid, by the way.
But the reality of the situation is, I think what hurts Wenger the most is him not going back to back. And that.
No. But this is my point now. If
Aaron is saying 3 PL each. Ash, exactly. Mourinho has 3 Premier Leagues in less time. Aaron, he's got it in less time. I think that he's done back to back, so that also should be given credit.
I still think Wenger going up against Alex Ferguson, who was an absolute juggernaut.
Fucking
and so did guys, and so did Mourinho. Mourinho won 2 leagues against him.
I'm talking.
We're not talking about Mourinho. We're talking about Klopp now.
To Klopp.
In
regards to the argument between him and Klopp, I think.
Yeah, listen, look.
But then Klopp won against Pep, so what's the?
I hear Ash's point. Just so I know your opinion, Ash, and without you arguing it, what is your opinion? Is it Klopp or Wenger? Who's 5th?
I don't know, man. It's so hard because I didn't follow the club in '96 when Wenger took over. So while I read about it, I don't truly know the state of what he took us from, because I know we finished like 10th or something before he took us, something like that. But the season before that or something like that, we were winning the league. So it's not like we were far away from winning the league. And he had top quality players.
It is. I didn't know Ashraf doesn't like Wenger. It's the first time I'm actually realizing.
What are you on about? I said I love Wenger.
I'll tell you why. Because when you
Souls, don't just say something out of agenda. Don't just say something out of agenda.
I'm going at you, but when you start doing things like, oh, to be honest, we did actually win the league the year before that, so it's not that big of an achievement. When you start downplaying people's achievements, I know you don't.
No, I didn't say we won the league the year before. I don't think we won the league before that. I'm saying the 10th position we finished was not like we were like finishing 10th consecutive seasons. As I said, guys, I wasn't watching Arsenal in '96, so I don't have the history or the knowledge of what kind of condition he took us from and how much he changed for us to be able to go and win our first Premier League title. Because he took over in '96 and we won our league and we won the double in his first full season. So it's not like it took him 4 or 5 years to build something. So I don't know. The fact that Souls is saying, oh, he hates Wenger. I actually love Wenger. I just said it. I watch him every time he comes on BN Sports religiously. And I listen to his analysis. Just because I wanted him out doesn't mean I don't like the manager. And even though I say I don't have emotional attachment, I had an emotional attachment to him. Because I love the way he analyzed football. And I love the fact that he plays pure football. I'm anti-football. And Wenger was anti-football. So I resonate with that. But he needed to go. He needed to go. That's it.
Yeah, look.
If I had to pick right now, gun to my head,
A little bit of bias in there. Maybe a little bit of bias.
if I had to pick gun to my head, I would probably edge
شوفوا.
Wenger a little bit.
Let me listen guys مرتي بغيت تقتلني بعدين خاصني نخرج دابا باش كل
صافي يلا خلص.
يلا سالي في show.
Listen, guys, big up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, man. It's been a brilliant stream. We were only meant to stream for 1 hour, but do you know what I mean? All of a sudden, it's mad. It's gone to madness. So, listen, big up to everybody. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big up to Ali.
We'll have the managers debate another stream, guys, because I think it's very interesting. A lot of guys are getting involved in the comments, so it's a big up, guys.
So we're gonna come back to this manager debate because I do think it's an interesting debate. Wenger versus Klopp, and obviously the thing is for me, I think obviously if you want to make the argument about, but anyway, we'll get to it, guys. 100% we're gonna get onto that 100%. But listen, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, people. Big up, man. Love. Peace.